Nation, and welcome to my office. This is the Keep Moving with the Klines vlog, and sometimes we don't move, and we sit down and we work at our computers. And I had something special I was working on today that I wanted to share with you. Okay, as we are continue to grow this business, there continues to be more challenges that I personally have to face. Well, if I'm not challenging myself personally, not professionally, but personally, well, then I'm not half the leader that I could be if I wasn't pushing myself, challenging myself. Well, you all know I love to get after it in the gym. Well, I've been doing this for 10 years now in the Burn Bootcamp business, in this brand, running camps, coming up with programming, protocols, training camps, taking camp myself, and I needed a little spiciness, okay? I needed a little action, a little more action. So I've created something that I'm gonna show you right now that I'm gonna do personally for myself, okay? It's called 100 Days Strong, and it is a non-negotiable 5 elements for 100 days straight, non-negotiable, that I'm going to put in front of myself to challenge myself so that I can become better for you and for our people, our partners, our members, my family, but more importantly, myself. Because without me pouring in, filling my cup up, everyone else in my life isn't going to have the energy from me that they deserve. So I want to take my fitness to the next level. I want to take my ability to be disciplined to the next level. I'm a disciplined human being, right? But there's always levels to the game. As we go to the next level as an organization and as a CEO, well, I gotta take my personal fitness to the next level, and here it is. All right, so I'm starting this today. See this on July 11th here, all right? Here's who this is for. All right, for those who are ready to transform their lives and finally do what you've always dreamed of, follow my 100 Days Strong plan and show yourself what you're made of. All right. Day 1 is today. There's 5 elements to this. Read 30 pages and write 3 takeaways. Howard Schultz is my hero, the CEO of Starbucks, so I'm reading his brand new book, Onward. I have not done that yet today. I'll do that when I get home. Number 2, every day. There's no drinking, there's no smoking, there's no substance abuse of any kind whatsoever, non-negotiable. And for me, in my life, for the past 6 months, I have, let's just say, had a little bit more fun than I've been used to having over the last 9.5 years prior. And I don't necessarily like that habit that I'm getting in. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go no drinking, no smoking, or substance abuse of any kind, okay? Number 3, no added sugar of any kind. Sugars naturally occurring in food is okay, but no added sugars of any kind, non-negotiable. Work out every day for 45 minutes. This is 5 days a week, okay, where I'm going to do what's called a demanding workout. That demands more out of myself than I would be willing to give as an individual without the definition of a demand, okay? Demanding workouts is, you can't talk during a demanding workout. That's a good way to think about it. Can you talk for 45 minutes or can't you? If you can, then that's just activity, not exercise. If you can't, that's demanding exercise, not activity. The other 2 days are gonna be focused on activity and recovery. So I'm moving my body for 45 minutes every day, no matter what, non-negotiable. And the last one that I already did today this morning was wake up before 5 a.m. Okay, and listen, I've already started this. How did I feel? Day 1, well, I knew I was going into this. So last night I ate some cinnamon rolls because I knew I wasn't gonna have sugar literally for 100 days. And if anybody knows me, my 2 favorite foods are chocolate chip pancakes and cinnamon rolls. All right, when you have children, there's a lot higher availability and access to those food groups. All right, or at least they ask for it a lot. So I felt really tired this morning because I did my last hoorah last night, and I felt like death upon waking up. But I still got up before 5 a.m. I was up at 4:15, and actually not excited to wake up at all after a long night. But note to self for me is I need to be in bed by 11 p.m. so that I can get up before 5 a.m. to get my 6 hours, because that's what's optimal for me. And I'm not suggesting what's optimal for you. I'm not suggesting you even follow some of this crazy stuff that I'm doing. All I'm saying is this is what I need in my life right now. I need to go 100 days strong. I need to take my discipline up to the next level. And my body is going to be a byproduct of that. I'm not in discontent with my body. A little extra body fat that right now that I'm used to normally having. Well, that's what 3 kids and a bunch of chocolate chip pancakes will do to you. So that's the challenge that I'm up for. It's gonna go from July 11th to October 19th. through my birthday, and on my 35th birthday on October 15th, I know by following this and being disciplined that I'm gonna look at my physical body, which will be as more congruent than ever with my mental health, with my emotional health. And I'm gonna look down at my physical body. It's gonna be the best shape I've ever been in, because it's gonna be the best mental shape I've ever been in. This week, everyone, it's how to do the hard things. So Morgan and I are gonna really talk about how and why in our business and our personal life that we choose to do the hard things first. Go hard and fast at the things that you're scared of. Speed to the things that make you nervous. Because when you have that mentality and you're not putting off things that you know are important, that are really hard, well, life gets so much easier, because in those couple hard things that you've been wanting to do for a long time that you've just never really pulled the trigger on doing, maybe out of fear, maybe out of lack of desire in the moment, but because you've been putting them off, what happens is hundreds of little things start to pop up. And if you, like I have in my 5 elements of 100 Days Strong, if you take care of the big ones, if you take care of the things that are harder to do, harder to incorporate and create a lifestyle out of, well, all the little things that were a problem in your life, that were nagging, those little promises that you might have broken to yourself, or the things that you have the ability to control that you haven't necessarily put the emphasis on controlling, all of those things become solved. They all become checked boxes as you really focus on doing the hard things first. So do the hard things. Don't be scared of the hard things. Hard things should be scared of you. Let's go.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Burn Bootcamp Podcast. We are excited to have you here listening to Devan and I. We are back on the mic together. And what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about hard things, things that you look at and you're like, but then we want to tell you to say,
All right.
We want to say, run toward those hard things. Look at what 97% of people are doing and do the opposite. What is an instance in your life personally where your initial reaction is, that's scary, don't do that, that's gonna be pain, but then because you know that it's good for you, you do it anyways?
I have a great example of this. It doesn't necessarily require pain, but speaking on stage is something that's hard for me. And a lot of people will say, well, I didn't even think that would ever be a thing with you, because when I watch you speak on stage you do a good job, but leading into the summit every year, I'm like super nervous, because that's a hard thing for me. Public speaking is a hard thing for me, but I do execute, right? And so that's, I think the message today is like, hey, you gotta lean into the hard things, because if you are just constantly afraid of being uncomfortable, then you will never grow. And I will say over time, I've gotten more confident speaking. Whereas if I just said no because it was a hard thing and I was scared, if I said no back in 2016 at our first summit, how would I get to where I am today?
For me, when we were first starting, it was the words "I don't know." Those
Saying the words
were scary to me. Not like being inadequate, I think, was at the root cause of it. Probably the most fearful thing for me. Coming from a family where, my father he knew everything. He was never wrong. So I grew up emulating, some of his tendencies, and I would carry that over as an entrepreneur, thinking that I needed to solve everyone's problems all the time and have all the answers. And the byproduct of having all the answers is you become the chief everything officer, not the chief executive officer, and not being able to provide the answers to the people that were confiding in me to provide them the answers was a very scary thing. And so I always just pretended like I knew all the answers until I was 28 or 29, probably right after we had Cameron, when she was born and I was holding this like beautiful little baby girl, and I think it was like one hand, like, oh, what do I do? I have no idea. I don't know what to do. And so I'll probably always credit her with humbling me in a way. Not only humbling me from the lens of like what motivates me and like really uncovering what the true motivations of life are, but also, allowing me just that confidence to be insecure. And that's such a weird thing to say, like the confidence to be insecure. And what I really mean by that is like confidently saying that I don't know. Like I don't know. But I want to know. I want to know the answers, and I want you to know the answers. And so, let's figure this out together. And that's been a definite evolution for me. Yeah. It was scary for a long time.
It's scary to be vulnerable, because what happens when you're vulnerable, like you open yourself up to be judged and for people to, maybe not believe in you. And it's such a deep fear for you with your background, with your father, is, gosh, if I do one thing wrong, will they lose belief in me? And that was such a belief was such a scarcity for you growing up that you would have held on to that no matter what. And so I think, though, anyone that, is leading a company or building a company and that requires you to get people to be bought into your vision, into your brand, you do want them to be confident in you. And so for you to admit, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to surround myself with the people that do, and I'm going to be wide open. Mm-hmm. It gives people permission to do the same, and that's what we need, more leaders of just humbling themselves.
I agree.
And we need more people in society, I think, to accept that.
Yeah, I think, from a judgmental standpoint, especially, who are you to judge someone else if you don't clean your car or if your room's dirty? Mm-hmm. Before you judge someone else, you should probably clean up those 6-day-old McDonald's wrappers off your floorboard of your car there. Because, no, I'm serious, and here's why. Because how could you possibly cast a judgment on another human being when your life isn't together yet? And for me, I didn't really realize that until I got older, that was basically my upbringing was my parents judging me without ever taking a look in the mirror and judging themselves. And, so I always, obviously as a young adolescent kid, you get caught up in that because you want love unconditionally from your parents. But instead, when you get judgment cast toward you, you get used to it. Mm-hmm. So for me, there's at this point in my life, you can judge me and God can judge me. Mm-hmm. Maybe Cameron. Max is not old enough yet, and Ryan's not old enough yet either. So, other than
Max is getting there,
he's getting there. He's getting there.
I think he told you this morning that you were being rude to him.
Well, if he stops peeing in his pants, then I'll listen to him.
Hey, whatever. He was.
Yeah, because I took his iPad after I told him that he wasn't allowed to watch the YouTube show anymore. Yep. He got mad at me. He said, "Dad, you're rude."
Yeah, you're being rude.
I have 2 hard things, and then we're going. Okay. This is a challenge. The hard challenge that I want everyone on this podcast to take away is for the next 2 weeks. It's a 2-week hard challenge. I want you to go 5 for 5 at camp or 5 for 5 in a demanding workout if you're not a Burn member. That means you commit Monday through Friday for 2 weeks straight. You do not miss a single workout. That's number 1. Number 2 is that in that 2-week span, you get up. I don't care what time it is, but you have the discipline to get up at the same time every day. Whether it's Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, if it ends in day, you get up at the same time and you go and you do that same demanding 45-minute camp or workout if you're not a member at Burn. That to me is a good little challenge to get you started, because at the end of that 2 weeks, I want you to realize that you're capable of doing the hard things. If you just set out a simple template, 10 days, 2 things to do for 10 days, you can do this. All right? So, that's my challenge. What do you think, Morg?
I like it.
Well, let me know. DM us on Instagram, Devan.Kline, Morgan.A.Kline on Instagram, and let us know. Take our 2-week challenge and do the hard things so that you get better as a human being. And a byproduct is you become more confident, be more empowered, and then the more you do the hard things, the less hard they seem over time, right?
That's right.
Do class 1, 2?
All right. 1, 2.
All right, everyone. It's 4:45 here at Lake Norman. Katie's got us doing some crazy warm-ups. But listen, we get up early, we do the hard things first. Honestly, sometimes the last thing that I want to do during a day after working for 15 hours is kick my own butt in the gym. But that's why I have my trainers, that's why I have my community, and that's why we're open at 4:45. So you can do the hard things first. I love Katie. She's a newer trainer here at Lake Norman, but I'm telling you, if you haven't trained in one of her camps, she's absolute fire. 4:45, I feel so energetic. We're 15 minutes into camp, and she's already got me fired up. She's herself, she's also Burn at the same time, and that's what we love about our trainers here. And she's gonna yell at me, so I better get going. All right. Little tutorial on the suspension bicep curl. A lot of us naturally want to get here and we want to do a reverse grip row. All right, notice where my elbows move. They break the plane of that rib cage. Good move for that specific body part. But I want you putting your elbows on a shelf so from here they can't move, they're on a table. All right, my chest is up. All I'm thinking about on this curl is my fingers come right to my eyebrows. Drive my belly button to my spine. I have a straight line from my shoulders down to my heels, and those fingertips come right up to your forehead. Stop just slight of full extension. Okay, elbows on that shelf. Bring it right up to your forehead, just like that. All right, there you go.
Hi, my name's Anthony. Why I do the hard things, she's a big reason for it. I got 3 young boys, trying to show them how to do things the right way.
Hey, I'm Vic, and I do the hard things because it allows me to have joy through my journey.
When I think of hard things, I think of discipline, which means doing things when you don't feel like doing them, getting up early in the morning, start your day when you want to sleep in.
So for me, it's setting goals for myself, and then that progression is how am I doing as I progress. Every day it's me against me, and when I wake up at 4 and show up at Burn, it's can I lift a little heavier? Can I go a little longer? And that's how I have joy through my progression in my journey of life.
The hard things I do on a daily basis, we got 3 young boys that require a lot of energy, so constant patience and reserving some energy to make sure we pour into them. Their priority number 1, getting up every day.
4 o'clock.
Getting up early can be challenging, especially when you're up later than you like to be the previous night.
All the things. So getting up at 4, showing up on time at work, leading a team, being the best wife that I can be, being an amazing mama. They're the hard things, but if you have joy in them, they become the easy things.
So I'm motivated by my Lord and Savior, number 1, my bride. She pushes me every day to be the best husband, father. I got great mentors in my life, my parents, people I work with. I got a lot of motivating factors.
Yes.
Thankful for them.
Listen, I'm so motivated by what he just said, but number 1 is my faith, number 2 is my family, and then honestly being an exceptional leader of other people. And I'm truly motivated by our Burn community, and when I see people push themselves on the floor, it's my most favorite part of being a part of Burn is our community.
Feels weird without a glove on though. Oh yeah. Dude, I was a professional. I can hit a tree from 60 feet away. Do we got tree marks? Oh no, I didn't throw it that hard. I don't have that anymore. I used to throw it much harder. Line up with me, bat on your shoulders, and whack it. Bam! Hey, watch the rover, kid. Watch the rover.
Guys, thanks for joining us this week, talking about doing the hard things. What do you do every day that's hard? And tell us below. Comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you are liking our page, subscribing so you never miss a video. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll talk to you later. Keep
2
moving.
claps on 2, 1, 2.